Ready or Not is a dark horror comedy film now on Netflix that was theatrically released on 21st August 2019 in USA. It earned $57.6 million dollars on box office with a total of 6 million budget, an IMDb rating of 6.9. Movie directed by Tyler Gillett and Matt Bettinelli-Olpin won 4 awards, in which one was for the best actress Samara Weaving, who plays the heroine. I find this story personally very interesting, and it's well directed without any dragging. The plot revolves around a wealthy Le Domas family, in which there is a ritual that a game has to be played at wedding night by the new member of the Le Domas family to get acceptance. From the beginning, it sets up a thrilling situation with two little boys running, and the one named Daniel reported his wounded uncle to be found to his family, who then shot him. And his mother saying, "I am proud of you, Daniel," that literally gave me the creeps. Samara Weaving playing the role of Grace, a girl who grew in so many foster homes and desperately needed a family, is marrying a rich guy, Alex Le Domas, played by Mark O'Brien. He is now a young man from the beginning scene when he was a scared little child. His brother Daniel is now alcoholic, always protects his brother Alex, but apparently dislikes Grace and asks both of them to run away. This character was played by Adam Brody. The family members of Liduma's family are Mr. Tony and his wife Becky, with their daughter Emily and her husband Fitch, who played old maid game on their wedding night. The elder son Daniel and his wife Charity, who got to play chess, and now the youngest one is Alex, who is married to Grace. Tony has a sister, Aunt Helene, who was the wife of that uncle killed by them in the beginning scene. Alex is somehow different from his family and doesn't want to be a part of this psychopathology, so he returns after 2 years of distance to his family again with Grace. But he doesn't tell her about this ritual before, and now on the wedding night, Grace's father in law tells the whole history that their great grandfather, Victor Lee Dumas, in 19th century made a deal with Mr. Lee Bale, who will give him the fortune and wealth on cost of sacrifice that every new member has to play a game at their wedding night to maintain this fortune always. Otherwise, they will all be destroyed. There was a mysterious box given by Mr. Lebel, who is now descending to generations, in which they place a blank card and it tells which game the new family member has to play. For Grace, this was all weird and fun until her game was turned out to be hide and seek. Now she starts playing in hiding until Alex saved her from being caught and she saw a maid was shot by Emily, who thought it was Grace. Now, Grace is scared to death and becomes shocked to know that Alex didn't tell her this before. Alex told her the deadly truth that they all will try hard to kill her at any cost before morning, otherwise we all will be killed. He guided her to escape the mansion and he locked himself in CCTV room to reopen all cameras and doors, which were shut down at the start of game in respect of the ritual to play the game in the same manner as it's being played since 19th century. Grace was caught by Daniel, but he gave her a chance out of kindness to run and then called his family. Grace was eventually caught by their butler Stevens, but she ditched him and ran outside the door. She hid in a warehouse filled with goats and sheep. There she was surprisingly shot in hand by Emily's son. So she pushed him to ground and fell in a well full of human bones and skeletons of people the Lidomas family killed before her. She managed to escape from there but was seen by Charity, and Stevens ran behind her in a car, caught her, but she crashed the car, killing him. She ran from there, but then Daniel caught her, who knew his father was behind. So he brought her back to the mansion. Now she's tied in road where they were reciting their ritual wordings before killing her. Alex, on the other hand, was tied in a room so that he couldn't save her. Until now, Alex was now on Grace's side trying to save her, but the actual hero was Daniel, who took real measures to save Grace. When Tony raised his hand to put his dagger into Grace's chest, they all came to know that Daniel temporarily poisoned them with a non lethal dose of hydrochloric acid. So Daniel and Grace ran, but Daniel's wife Charity shot her own husband. Alex managed to release himself and found his brother dead. He was so disappointed. He came to another room only to see that Grace killed his mother. That Label's mysterious box, hitting on her mother's face until she died in her defense because Becky tried to kill her first. Alex now saying that you will leave me after all this and suddenly started calling his family that she's here. It was so shocking to see Alex's character turning from grey to jet black. Grace was astonished and tried to save herself, but they all got her. And when Alex was about to impale her chest, she quickly repositioned herself and impaled on shoulder instead. Now it's morning, and according to the ritual, they couldn't kill her before dawn, so now they all are going to die. But nothing happened. They all flushed with embarrassment that maybe it was all for nothing. Aunt Helene was the one who was so much desperate to kill her, and now she is again motivated to kill the bride no matter what's the situation. Suddenly, She was bursted into her own flesh pieces, and turn by turn, each of them suffered the same fate. Grace was laughing at all of them facing their deaths, until Alex remained, who is now seeing his death ahead and asked her to forgive, but she gave him a wedding ring and asked for divorce, after which Alex exploded too. She set the house on fire, but before burning, she saw a silhouette of Mr. DeVille sitting on a chair. The ending scene, when she was sitting on the stairs in front of that burning house, smoking. Police asked her what happened, to which she replied casually, the in laws. That was the badass ending which gave the ultimate satisfaction. Samara Weaving's acting is so remarkable in this movie, especially when a car driver on the road refused to help her. The way she yelled in frustration seeing her death ahead was so real and spine chilling. The mother, Becky, was a great character who had a good heart and feelings for Grace, and she actually felt sad for her, but she couldn't destroy her family and the ritual to maintain their fortune, so she died with her evil overtaking her. Daniel was the only good character in the Le Domas family who actually had the guts to do something for Grace. He was not impulsive or emotional, but he played with his mind and sacrificed himself for Grace. Alex was a hopeless romantic character who all the time fought between saving his new bride and his family from dying, destroying up his wife's life by not telling her in the beginning about this family ritual. He didn't really give her a choice. In my opinion, he can be the real villain who used a foster parents raised girl who needed a family for his own emotional support and then unable to save her. When she defended herself alone, he turned her in. And in the end, when seeing his death ahead, he again asks for forgiveness, surpassing every level of toxicity. Emily was a really funny and horrible at the same time. She appeared to be the most friendly and understanding to Grace, but was the most disastrous. She killed so many innocent maids and crying like a baby who lost his toys. Her husband Fish was also playing funny, missing every opportunity of killing Grace because he is trying hard to learn the weapon he got. Aunt Helene was really intimidating from the start and was very rude to Grace. She was the happiest one when the game turned out to be hide and seek, because last it was played at her own wedding and got her beloved husband killed. But instead of changing the ritual, she chose to be a villain trying to destroy everyone who comes in way of Limduma's fortune. The movie is reflecting how the lives of ordinary people are a game for rich people, how the people survive in this rich dominant society. The rich invent things that become trend, whether it's a matter of murder. The ending indicates maybe Grace now will inherit the whole Lidoma's fortune. The real villain is Mr. LeBale, who played this satanic curse game in exchange of a wealthy fortune. The movie also gives the lesson that running blindly behind money and wealth, while shortcuts doesn't bring fortune, it will lead to the path of more darkness until you fall deep enough from where there is no return. I also want to highlight a point there that the children of Lee Domas family are also so much traumatized and are becoming so toxic. When Emily's child shot Grace, his reply to his mother that why he did this was that you all were trying to do the same to shoot her. That's why I found her and I shot her. So that's the bitter reality that children always adopt what the family teaches them. And now family makes the children toxic and expects them to be the better version of themselves, which is the most toxic thing ever. Every child in the Lidomas family experiencing this deadly ritual since their childhood and adapting themselves. They are all actually monsters and devils who destroy innocent people's lives. One more thing, there is a news of sequel for Ready or Not, with Samara Weaving being the lead actress. So let's guess what should be the story in part 2. I would like it to be started as Grace is the one who now sets the rules of this game as Lee Thomas' fortune owner. Share your thoughts on this too. Until then, good luck.